Exotic, masculine, and clinical. Button up your overcoat when the wind blows free. Take good care of yourself.
If I watch it, I'd probably fall in love with it.
I haven't seen lip sync. Who does lip sync? Let's take a break. More with Jim Gaffigan after these messages. And we're back. How'd you go the break?
I am back here with Jim Gaffigan, who...
Did you ever think the three of us would come together into something? This is weird to me still.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's strange.
Do you think it's strange? You don't see the three of us as a... It's funny. It's like we came together... In most great movies are characters coming together that probably shouldn't be together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a great, great American movie where three characters find each other.
It's like three-person jury duty.
Yeah. That's what we should call the podcast. We should have called it this.
Three angry.
Oh, what?
They call him the Rooster because he's the best at the job. He's the leader of the... It's a very complimentary nickname. Normally nicknames are made just downright abusive. So his colleague the Rooster is leaving...
On the sort of tail end of the idea that like a child should be well-rounded and that to get into college, like the ideal candidate would play the same. Like she was right across from me. And I tell that story in my book about how to masturbate Amish style because I didn't want my vibrator to wake her up. It's just I got at a bachelorette party.
If you have an Amish vibrator, it has a wooden clamp. It just pushes butter. Yeah, it makes butter at the same time. Listen, I went too far.
You can have a chat with them about getting Botox and, fillers. And I just went, do I need Botox and fillers? And she went, no. And I went, why would I go then?
Why you think
That's my lane, actually.
It's like saying, I'm going to Motor Point to have a look at the cars.
Someone posted on the Disney Great Breaking News, Walt Disney will no longer require face masks, and then someone said that was he's got a bit of extra one. when I go to work. I just hate that first early and you're like, oh great, I've got 6 days ahead of me. It's fine once you get past, I think once you get past the earlies, I'm pretty much on wind down. I'm like, oh, it's nearly days off. But it's like, come on mate, I ain't got all day.
Hate earnings.
Let's go.
I've got a job a bit like yours, so I'm going to go there on say, well, this is my thoughts.
150 kilograms, which is just fantastic. You mentioned Mercedes-Benz a moment ago with their version of the minivan, the EQT. What about going to the very top of the pile, the very top end of the line, and that is the all-electric Mercedes-Benz EQS.
The automakers now as much as I possibly can, and yeah, there's not a lot of female voices, so hopefully I can get more of a female.
So what you're saying is exactly right. You might even have seen, but obviously you can't say it, the prototype electric vehicles from manufacturers that aren't out yet, because when we go there, sometimes they're there also.
Exactly.
Yeah, the cool thing about it is
these people that have these trucks, is they talk about their trucks and they want to make sure that they're always the one that's making the right decision, even if it's an inactive decision. So it's like, okay, well, if you're on a job site and you're working with all power tools with battery power, and I have something that plugs in, they're watching to see, well, are you not going to be able to get the job done? Should I be converting to that? Did I make the right choice in choosing a plug versus a wireless system? So I think that the mentality there, it's super important, because word of mouth in the trades is going to just instantaneously.
Is at Tomalog, Martin Lee is at EV News Daily, Lacey is at Miss Go Electric, and I'm at Dominic_Y. Kyle should be back from driving electric motorcycles across Montana next week. So click subscribe and tap that
crazy, mate. So that was, you probably, I think I learned in those 3 or 4 years worth of very intense recession.
Just go again. And I was really, really, really lucky and fortunate to get an opportunity within that company. If I could do it all over again and make it easy for myself, I'd just
a council estate mindset. And that's no shade on council estate. Again, like I said, I'm so proud of where it came from, and I'm in touch with so many people. But as you said, you've got to adapt.
So she was just wasting time.
What just? Oh my Jesus Christ! I was scared for you.
Very scared. I didn't know which was the brake and which was the accelerator.
She's dangerous, she is. Go watch her.
That was fun.
You just gave Louis a heart attack.
Yeah.
Adaptive conversion, and it's a thing for RX-8.
I love this. Honestly, I was expecting you to say.
Mr. Andy Daly. Hi! I also live close to where we are. That's a large part of why I'm here.
It's so funny because I thought you were here for the C podcast. I did say that to Adam Sachs, and he said, yeah, I think we could get him. And then I find out that I think you didn't even have to take a step to get here. I think.
Yeah, and that's why, and I earned my keep by beautifying this home. That's I did all this.
It is lovely to talk to you in your actual speaking voice.
Oh, really?
If at any point a character wants to show up and tell us what he thinks of the coronavirus or whatever is going through.
Well, I shot the coronavirus a couple of nights ago.
Who's it?
I'm Dalton Wilcox, Poet Laureate of the West.
Oh yes, you're the Poet Laureate of the West.
That's right.
A true frontiersman and Westerner.
That's right. I'm from the real West, not this bullshit.
Of incidents that made them ban costumes.
Wasn't it because also that the costume quality was getting so good, people were getting confused with the actual princesses and that sort of thing?
Oh yeah, so they've got unofficial princesses saying whatever they want.
Yeah, right. The stuff that's been approved by Disney.
Exactly.
Yeah, right. So they had it was then, it was pretty new. It had been a watering hole for GIs. But it's just Bugsy Siegel's saloon. And I know that we've tried to set up Skype before, and it's a complete mystery. And I probably shouldn't be the one explaining it to them.
struggling there. You've decided against it, haven't you? Very easy on an iPhone or an iPad.
Yeah, if someone else is setting it up and everything, they can handle that. They can handle and that's how they like to see the grandchildren. In fact, it's the only way they like to see the grandchildren.
You're welcome, mate.
Amount of time with all of these passengers and just to watch the mood go from yes, it's wonderful, this is the cruise of a lifetime to we're going to die here.
Okay, but all right.
Fascinating.
Matter of fact, we met a number of years ago.
Oh, did we?
Yeah. My brother used to work for the Dead and Fire Department, and I seen you. It's been a fucking minute, dude.
You know, when I go home, I run into people that I went to high school with. I went to this public high school.
Okay.
You have a lot to do. Abu Dhabi do. And I jumped out a window, and I was watching on a 7th floor, and I fell 7 stories. And you know what? I was killed, and now I'm a ghost telling this story. But I'm okay being a ghost, because it means that I'm not alive.
This feels good.
Okay.
This feels really good.
Listen to me.
Listen, we're out of time.
No, we're not out of time.
Yeah.
How dare you, sir?
Society of Beasts. 3 arguments he gives being most people don't know what rollout is, which I would agree with, and they should get used to those things really quickly. But what I love about this week's question is you've reminded me, everyone's reminded me, of the amazing reasons to drive electric, and I could ever see myself going back or being hesitant to go electric in the first place is if I didn't have home charging, says Jake. I just don't think I would have pulled the trigger. He says, if I would have to rely on public charging in Idaho, very sparse, only if I put myself in the shoes of someone who doesn't have access to home charging, could I ever see going back temporarily, at least until a home charging station was achieved or a public charger was up to par. Yeah, I must admit, we lived in a terraced house until a few years ago.
Confusionist defender. This driver notices a van driver shouting at him. He ignores him, but the red-faced van driver starts prompting. That's it. The driver slaps him.
Starch, right? They're apparently like degradable or compostable. Because the thing is, when you put that in a regular bin, it's not going to.
Hey there, and welcome to Conan O'Brien Meets a Friend. I am joined, as always.
And like put him in like a really big chair.
Right.
And I thought that was just a good idea. And people started laughing, and I was like, I think I just...
Where he sort of was like the Marlboro Man. I believe that
You're like the King Charles Terrier of...
Yes, I'm the King Charles. You know,
they're cute, they're gorgeous, but then there's just something a little off.
Yeah, and I've joked about being 100% genetically Irish, which I am, and I've joked about that. And then,
well, I come from Scotch Irish, so that...
Of a Matt Damon space adventure movie where he has to blow up an asteroid or something and save the world. What a great name for the company. Anyway.
And the lady knows me, I'm Mackie, but the man doesn't know me, or Mackie. So I think he doesn't know that they already knew each other.
and you do. deserved country bit. No, you're still, of course, very young, but you got this. You didn't get this role. Like some of the actors that you've met, some of the improvisers you've met. Like it was a big. Catherine O'Hara's was a.
Catherine O'Hara was a big one in